Okay, I think we're live. I think so. I don't know that for sure, but I'm guessing we are. I did it. There it is. I didn't schedule the live stream. I was just like, I'll just go live. I guess I don't need this. I'll take that off. I'll just go live. But then I didn't have it all done for me. That's okay. It's all right. Hi, guys. Welcome to the studio, everybody. My name is Allison Jensen. I'm the owner of Orange Easel School of Art, and we are here to talk about summer week 4 and all the amazing things that are happening here at Orange Easel. So let me just double check a few techie things and make sure that, oh, there I am talking. Let's turn that volume down. There we go. There's a delay. Cool. All right. I really want to find a way to be able to see your comments, but I don't know how to do that. Maybe I can do it this way. We'll try it this way. It might work. It might not work. Maybe if you're watching live, you can say hi, and then that way we can test it and see if it's working. Yeah, we're always learning new things. Today I was trying to get the tech to play a video in my slideshow. So I can share a slideshow, a PowerPoint that has a video in it. I can put a video behind me as a virtual background, but I can't share a PowerPoint that has a video in it. It just shows up as a picture. So I don't know. Maybe I'll figure that out one of these days, or maybe the Zoom people will figure it out. And maybe it's not even an option. I don't know. Okay. I'm going to turn off this camera up here because we don't need that one yet. That's for the overhead. We are going to go through, guys, I have so much to talk about. This could be such a long video. This is so long. And I have the coolest project to show you. So we're going to do what's going on behind the scenes, because I haven't talked to you for 2 weeks. Talk about what's going on in camps this week. We're going to do a project together, and we're going to talk about some fall classes. Yeah. All right. So let's rock and roll here. It is week 4 of our summer camps. And so we've been, Plattwoods is doing Underwater Adventure, which is brand new curriculum for us. And I love fish art. That's one of my favorite subjects to make art about is fish, or underwater, or whether it's a octopus or a jellyfish or a sea turtle. I just love it. So I just kind of dig it. Liberty hasn't done that one yet, but we get to do it 2 weeks from now. And then Liberty this week has been doing fantasy creatures, which is a repeat from last summer, but it has almost all new projects. I think there's only one repeat. So super fun. Okay. So we're going to show some pictures from there. But if you ever want to know, if your kid's in camps and you want to know what's going on all day long, they're there for 7 hours a day, right? So 28 hours total. And you're and you ask them, what do they do? If you ever want to know, check out Instagram stories. I try really hard to get, some days are better than others, but to get photos and videos up of the kids, at least the day of or the next day. So yesterday there were some really good ones. There were some great videos. And that's what I was trying to put in the presentation, and it didn't work. So I'll just tell you about it, I guess. But video would have been awesome. And then this is the project we're going to do. So if you saw the Instagram stories last night, I taught a private event for the, now I'm going to, Authentic Connections, blinking. I didn't make a slideshow for this one, but for the Authentic Connections group here in Liberty, which is helps neurodivergent individuals to practice and master social skills. And so it gives them opportunities to do that. And so we worked with Authentic Connections and we put on a few programs for them. This was one of them. Last night we did this clay dragon eye project. And I actually have it here as a photo on my screen. And it is both 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional, right? So it's flat here, but it has a little bit of a raised dimension on it. And so I'm going to show you how to do this. So, and it looks a little funny here because I have a green screen. So none of the green shows up because it shows up as orange, which is kind of fun because that's what my background is. But if you're going to follow along, you're going to need a couple things, and it is plasticine clay, which is a modeling clay that never dries out or never gets hard, a piece of foam core or a piece of cardboard. This one's mine. You're gonna need a kind of a clear gemstone. This one's pretty big. It doesn't have to be this big, but these are the ones I found at Hobby Lobby. A small piece of paper, something to color with, whether it's markers or colored pencils. And then I put some clay tools here. We'll talk about what those are. It's not necessarily anything fancy. Okay, let's talk about that. All right, I also have some adhesive, which you can use anything you want that dries clear. I am using hot glue for time reasons. We'll get to that. That's towards the end because that's going to take the longest, but it's the most fun. So we'll save the best for last. Here we go. I want to talk a little bit about like what's been going on in 2 weeks. I haven't seen you guys. I haven't chatted with you guys for 2 weeks. We had 4th of July week is always our prep week. So we always do 3 weeks of summer camps, take a week off, 3 weeks of summer camps, take a week off, 2 weeks of summer camps. And so that 4th of July week always falls in that first week off. So we had a lot of things going on behind the scenes here in the studio. One was just getting ready for those July camps. So if you saw all the unboxing and the sorting, and I love a good checklist. I had lots of checklists for people to check off and make sure that what I ordered is what we got and what we got is what we need. And both studios have what they need. So there were like 3 lines of defense. So we don't get to a camp and someone's like, where is this? Because you're dealing with whatever 28 times 3 times 2 is, that many hours of camp projects that you have to just juggle. And there's a lot of math. I always tell people there's a lot more math in my job than most people would think. We got our Glitter Fest shirts in. If you saw Instagram stories yesterday or Facebook stories yesterday, I talked about those. We got our fall and spring, like regular studio schedules. So for those of you who have been waiting for those weekly classes to come back, that schedule got posted in the first week of July. It's always my like over the 4th of July holiday project is to sit down and update that website. So that schedule is posted. I'm going to show you what it looks like here. And then we also updated our studio club a little bit. So that page has been refreshed and we'll talk about what the changes were. And then we got our studio club t-shirts. So super fun. These are what the Glitter Fest t-shirts look like. So if you didn't get to see them on Instagram stories, I ran back into the closet just before the slideshow, you guys. And I like fluffed 2 of them and put them on the carpets and snapped a picture. So it's not the most polished picture, but I wanted you to see what they looked like for those of you guys who might have missed the stories yesterday. So they are a berry colored shirt. All my Glitter Fest peeps are going to love it. It's a shimmery black and a shimmery gold, and it says peace, love, and glitter. And I love it. So those are ready for all of our Glitter Fest people. The schedules, we were going to talk about those. So this is what the schedules look like. They got posted to the website. I know it's a small picture, but like that very first menu item says 2022-23 classes. And these are the 2 pictures you're looking for. I can't even tell you how many like messages I got from people that are like, I can't find the schedule on the webpage. It's like, it's in the 2 pictures. So you may not be looking for images. You can click them and make them bigger too. If you're like, I can't even read that, Allison, it's too small. Click it and make it bigger. And that way you'll have it. And only the start times are listed there on the, like on the thing, on the image. Only the start time is listed because all our classes are 60 minutes except for drawing one. Toddler playgroup is 45, but that's all in the descriptions if you read the types of classes. And when you go to register, that information is there. Like this is like bare bones just for planning your fall. I promise you, when you pull up your class listing to register for schedules, in true Miss Allison form, all my long-windedness, there is a lot of information there for you, okay? Just trying to not overwhelm people. Oh, here, this is my slide that goes with this, right? So all classes are 60 minutes, except for just a few exceptions. Our classes start after Labor Day, except for Monday classes. And if I had my way, we would start all our classes after Labor Day. But if we don't get 1 session of Monday night classes in, then they only get 3 classes in the month of September. And I feel like that's not a really good way to start off your year, is behind. So, so they'll actually start that last Monday in August and then have Labor Day off and then come back for week 2. That's how that works. Semester goes until the end of December. And so I had some people that like were like, well, how do I know when the classes meet? And I'm like, well, if you sign up for a Tuesday class and it's Tuesday at 6 p.m., like then it's every Tuesday at 6 p.m. from September through December. If there are 5 Tuesdays, we have a day off. So I think there's 5 Tuesdays in November. So we don't meet that on the 5th day. But again, when you go to the class listing, which is not public yet, they're all done though. I am so on the ball this year, you guys. All the listings are done and we are ready to register, and it is not even halfway through the month of July. So we could go live like right now and we could register everybody, but we won't. But all the listings are done. And when you click it and you like go to your class, it'll have like a calendar and it'll show you all the class dates, and it'll talk about special events, and it'll talk about holiday conflicts. It'll talk about the makeup. It'll talk about the art and PJ nights and the bring a friend nights, and all of that stuff is in the class listing. We didn't need to throw it all at you yet. So just pick out what class you want to take. All right. Read the descriptions, pick your class. And if you have questions, you can let me know. All right. And then Studio Club was updated. So for those of you who are new to the studio, or maybe you're new last year and you didn't quite get what Studio Club is, let me explain. And then we'll get to the t-shirt. It's over here. I thought it was over here because it's backwards on my screen. It's over here. So Studio Club is what we call our artists who sign up for their class and they enroll for the entire semester and they pay for everything the whole semester up front. That's Studio Club, okay? And you have to do it before the semester starts. So you have to do it before September, I don't even know. What day is that? September 5th, September 6th, whatever. So you have to be registered before that date in order for it to qualify for Studio Club. After that, everybody's month to month. Now, even like if you enroll in August, you have the option of doing month to month. So if you're like, I can't register that much money all at once, Allison, don't worry. You can sign up month to month, okay? You can pay monthly. That is not a problem. But for those people who want to do it, we have the Studio Club option. So you can pay for your entire semester, and then you get a 15% discount when you do that. You become a member of our Studio Club and you get discounts on all sorts of other things. So when we do our holiday gift workshops, you get discounts on that. When we do our winter break camp, you get discount on that. When we do our Halloween special event classes, you get discounts on that. So all of those are discounted. I believe they're 25%. I think so. In the past, oh, and you get a half price birthday party. That's the big one. That's the big discount, right? So you also get a half price birthday party. And if you don't turn a birthday in the fall semester, it's okay. It's good for a year. Yeah, that's the only discount that's good outside of the semester. Okay. So anyway, so that's Studio Club, and you can go to the website and it talks about it all over the page, all over that weekly class page that we just looked at that has the 2 schedules on it. It talks all about Studio Club. Just click the Studio Club link and then it'll take you to this page with this graphic on it. Okay. In the past, we've only ever allowed Studio Club, like the qualifying registration had to be multimedia or fundamentals. It couldn't be drawing. But this year we're including drawing. So you can sign up for a drawing class, sign up for the entire semester, pay your tuition from September through December in one lump sum before the semester starts, save your 15% on tuition, and be a member of Studio Club now. So that previously was not something that we were able to do, but now we can. So pretty excited about that. So all my drawing club, my drawing students can be a part of that club and experience that kind of discount. And they can get their t-shirts and all sorts of things. Okay. So one thing that did mess up, and this only affects people who have been multimedia Studio Club members and then taken a drawing class, is we always offered a drawing discount if you were a Studio Club member. Well, now drawing is a qualifying purchase. So we have just a general discount for anybody that if you take 2 classes a week, so you like one student signs up for drawing and also signs up for multimedia, that you get a discount on that. Okay. I don't remember what it is because there was math involved. It's basically the same as the previous discount. I had to figure it differently. because the logic in the system is different. So it's worded a little bit differently. And if you go to that 2022-2023 class page, and there's a center bar that says take 2, that's where you're looking, and it explains that discount. But it's automated. You don't have to do anything. You put both in your cart, and you should see that discount. So it is a 50% discount on that second class. Just in case you want to come and hang out with us twice a week, you can do that. And some of our people are able to like stack the classes, but there are very few cases where that works in the schedule. So for most of you, you're going to be making 2 trips to the studio. If I could figure it out, I would, I promise. Maybe someday we'll have a studio that has like 7 classrooms, and with only 2 classrooms, it just doesn't work. All right, so let's talk about the t-shirt promo. So we do a Studio Club t-shirt promo every year. You get all the things for Studio Club, no matter when you join the Studio Club, as long as you do it before the semester starts. But if you do it on the first day, you get a t-shirt. So that's what the t-shirt is for. You have to enroll for Studio Club on day 1, which is August 1st. You have to do it before midnight in Central Time, and then you get a t-shirt. It is, and I should have worn mine today because I did get one in. I ordered a prototype, so I have it. It's a white shirt. It's Bella and canvas. It has the Orange Easel logo, and it's splatter painted. It has been years since we've had a white shirt, and so I wanted a white one. So that's what we got. I like it. All right, so that's everything I have in kind of like your fall schedule housekeeping stuff, and that is a lot. And if anyone has questions about that, just reach out to me. You can send me a message on social. You can send me an email. You can try to call me. You can send me an email and tell me you want me to call, and I will. But I'm very rarely here and just can pick up the phone. So like right now, the phone's on silent because I'm here, but I'm on video. So the phone is almost always on silent here in the Liberty Studio because this is where we do all of our videoing, and the phone is right there. So it's almost always on silent. So, but if you leave me a message, I always call back. All right. So my virtual people, this is the Creation Nation. So that's that graphic right there, the Creation Nation logo. And so I want to talk to my Creation Nation peeps really quick before we get to our in studio. They had some new lessons drop into their membership this last week. We started our July session, so we had a few days off around the 4th of July holiday, and we're back at it. So this was Miss Nancy did a Zentangling sea creatures, which is we're all about the sea stuff lately. But she did that one on Monday, and that one is in your Creation Nation membership dashboard. I taught this one. I got to sub this class for Miss Liz because she wasn't feeling well. So this one is Sweet Treats, which is a beginning drawing class, and it's a lot about contour and line and shape and the decisions we make as an artist in both composition and color. And so we did like brainstorming on different sweet treats, and then we drew sweet treats. I used markers, but some people use colored pencils. You can really use anything, but it is a drawing class for the kind of that 5 to 9 range. I also got to teach. I taught, this is my love, right? So I did a watercolor class. And so that one is in your membership to do. That one does use masking fluid. So my Creation Nation peeps, if you don't have masking fluid, or if you have it and you're like, I've always wanted to use it, this is a good one to do that. We used it for the white of the sea foam. I will say, if I ever do it again, we will have just a seashell lesson and then just a water lesson, because I could have painted those seashells like for hours. That was so fun. All right, and then Miss Grace had her comic character evolution class. So that one is also in your membership. So my Creation Nation members, you can find that either by going to the on-demand classes, or just a quick link at the top of your dashboard that I emailed about last week that says latest classes. If you click that, it'll take you to just the newest ones, so you don't have to filter through all the hundreds of others. So, all right. Coming up next week, and I mentioned this to everybody, so whether you're in Creation Nation or you are just like at home and you want something to do, these ones are live ones that you can join. You can get to this link right from the home over there, right from the home page of the website. So there's a link to our virtual classes. I'll just scroll down past it's like the 3rd section down, and it says making art at home, we can help. click the button. It'll take you to it's also in the footer. There's a quick link in the footer, okay? But I'm gonna tell you, I keep pointing the wrong way. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about some of the online classes we have coming up. So that way, if the heat has gotten to you and you got kids at home and they have art supplies and you're like, why don't you use these? They can dial into a live class with us. This is Miss Grace teaching an acrylic painting class. It's best for your 9 and up kind of range. If you had an experienced painter who's younger, they could totally come, but it's really kind of geared towards that older elementary to middle school age, especially for the skills that Miss Grace teaches. We do have a beginning painting class, but that one doesn't happen next week. So that one's Miss Tori's. This is my class. I teach Wednesday night. And this is a live class on chalk pastel drawing. So we're going to do sunbeams in the sky if you want to come. And then Miss Sarah, I think Sarah's teaching this one. It might have switched to Mac. I'm not sure. Is teaching Boom. And that's a mixed media class that uses like salt and glue and watercolors and black paper. So the supply lists are in the class description. So if you find a spot on the website, you find this class, when you click it, it'll tell you exactly what you need. So it'll also tell you the times. I didn't put the times in the slideshow because it's Saturday, it's Thursday afternoon. I think it's might be 4:30. All right, let's talk about these summer camps coming up, shall we? Or the ones that are happening right now. Then we can talk about the ones coming up if you want. But so it is week 4, and this week I organized it by studio. So this is Plattwoods. This is the crew they have out there. July camps are huge, you guys. Like June camps, we are around the like 15 to 18 range. July, not because we don't have spots, but just because we just don't fill that big. Man, in July, like Plattwoods is at 28, and with 14 more on the waiting list. So it's a big camp. It's a lot of people. They have a big studio though. They're 1,000 square feet bigger than we are here in Liberty. I need to move over. I'm gonna slide over. Okay. So this is Plattwoods going in here. They are doing underwater adventure. They looked at the art of Shell Rummel. And so what you're seeing here is they have it's a tapestry. Shell Rummel does art on like tapestry and fibers. And so they used a raw duck canvas and did like glue lines on it, and then did some mixed media piece. So then they did some doodling with some fine point Sharpies and some oil pastels, and then they put watercolors on it. And it looks like just kind of a soft, oceany, wave, whimsical artwork. Our favorite one so far this week has been the resin, and we've had that all over Instagram stories. I hope you've seen it. They've made these mini oceans, which are really just the base for the actual project, but I think they've turned out to be our favorite part of the project. So these are blue turquoise plates from Dollar Tree, and they have poured different blues of resin. So it's a fluid art as well as a white opaque resin, and then used like either a straw to blow or a heat gun or a blow dryer to make kind of these watery waves. And of course, when the resin sets and cures, it is hard and clear and gorgeous. So they also added like sand and shells and glitter to make their little oceans. And then what goes on top of that, and that's a video I really wanted to show you, are these little clay villages that they created out of air dry clay. So hopefully we get some good pictures of that. In my understanding is they have not put it together yet. So this is why 4-day camps are awesome, is because you can do things like resin. All right. And then I've got just a couple pictures of them in their like morning meeting time, and then also just hanging out with friends. This is Liberty. So this is where I'm at right now. This is Liberty. Liberty is doing Fantasy Creatures Camp, and the highlight of Fantasy Creatures Camp, I'm telling you, it's the black light. So they got the black light out this morning, well, and this afternoon actually, to do this is project number 3, and it is a creature or a monster or a fantastical beast of some kind, and they used pretty much anything in the studio that will glow. So they used oil pastels that were fluorescent. They used quick sticks that were fluorescent. They used a tempera that's fluorescent. And then they also used a white tempera which I was able to find a white UV reactive tempera paint. So, and Miss Grace just sent me like some really good pictures of them today. And I had a great video on Instagram stories that's on there right now. You can go see it, of all of their finished work kind of in the black light. But the process of working on it was so fun, and they enjoyed just hanging out in the black light. The really cool thing was their little monsters. So these are their creatures they made yesterday. I say the black light was their favorite. Probably this was their actual favorite. I like the black light, but they had so much fun creating these little like creature friends, and they all have names. Most of them have personalities. They also have backstories. And so this picture here with the pillows, they're having a sleepover. They stayed in the studio last night and they all had a sleepover. When we came in this morning, they were reading books. I do know that. That's not how we left them. So I don't know what happened. But what was really fun was these creatures also, because they have neon media in them, when we turn off all the lights and turn on the black lights, they glow too. So cool. And the kids did a great job, by the way, like dressing in neon. So parents, if you have like kids in fantasy creatures camp, you rock. Because I came in today and I was like, you're all in neon. Look at you on the ball this summer. So they had a ball in the black lights. And I think that's it. There's more stuff going on. They made fairy houses. That is in progress. So they'll finish those tomorrow. It's kind of a 4-day project for them. It's a clay fairy house that has a light inside and a base and lots of stuff going on that. They also have a drawing project that they're doing tomorrow, but it's a little bit shorter project because we know we need to finish fairy houses. They took some artwork home today because it was a lot. And they'll have even more tomorrow. But the video I really wanted to show from Liberty, this group, more than any other camp that I have seen, loves to play games. And I took a video yesterday of them playing Down by the Banks, which is, I think, Miss Grace's favorite game. And if you don't know it, they sit in a circle, and I don't know if I'm going to sing on YouTube Live, but they go down by the banks. You where the bullfrogs jump from bank to bank, right? And so you slap the person's hand, and the slap travels around the circle. And it's really fun. We have a wide range of ages, right? From 4 on up to like 13. And so teaching 24 kids to play a new game is a challenge. But once they get it, it is such a fun, like, aha moment. And so it's really fun. So they love to play Down by the Banks. They also love to play, today they were playing, okay, some of them were calling it Wax Museum and some of them were calling it Ghost in the Graveyard. So I don't know, but it's like a freeze game, and I have video of it. It's going on Instagram stories tonight because I was dying laughing. But they just like to play games. So they've had a lot of fun, and I'm going to figure out how to share videos with you sometime here so that you can witness that as well. It's kind of the magic of camp, I think. But all right, let's go here. We're going to make some art together. You ready for this? And we're going to make these really great dragon eyes. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch my screen. I'm going to disappear for a second. Whoop. I will reappear over here so that way you guys can see me. This is my dragon eyes. I'm going to increase my light because I want you to have really good lighting on these projects. All right, so what we have going on here, this is the dragon eye, and it is so cool. It is dimensional, and it's all made out of clay. And we won't make one the whole thing start to finish today, but we will definitely get it going. How's that? All right. So the first thing we're going to do is zoom in on the camera because you're really far away. All right. We're going to start with the eyeball. Now, these are my eyes, and I only need one, but I kind of grabbed 2. And I'm going to use a pencil. I'm going to trace around it because right now this eyeball is totally, whoops. Let's see. Let's try again. Right now, this one is clear, right? So if I put it on here, it doesn't have an iris and it doesn't have a pupil. It just is what it is, right? But I want it to have, when you look into its eye, I want it to have something back there. So that's what we're gonna make, is what's gonna lay underneath the stone. So So I traced it so I had a good idea of what the size is going to be. Then I'm going to grab my markers. Now I used Sharpies and colored pencils on the other one, but on this one, I thought the Sharpies and colored pencils are kind of being used. So I'm going to be creative here. We've got some different markers. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I've got some washable markers. So we're going to make just really quick. And you know, you might have a different idea of what a dragon eye looks like. We did have somebody last night make a shark, not a dragon. So I mean, we all know it also works for other animals, right? But I like to make a pupil, and I kind of go with like a reptile, or like almost like a cat eye, I think. And then I really like my pupil and my iris, or the area around it. I like it to be kind of high contrast. So if my pupil is really dark, I want my, oh, that one doesn't work. I want my other one to be light, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, I don't want them to both be dark. Make my little lines. The colored pencils were kind of fun because they like, you can blend them, you know. You could be crazy and do this with paint. You just have to wait for it to dry, right? Okay. There, I'll go with that. That's pretty good. I like it. You know what I maybe didn't bring was a pair of scissors. Oh, good. There's one. We're gonna cut this out. This project, okay, we did it last night in like 2 hours. A little less because we talked a lot too, but I could have spent, if you've got teens, I'm sure your teens could also spend, I could have spent like 5 hours on this. It's really fun. All right, so I'm gonna put my eyeball on my base. I've got a foam core base. You can use a piece of cardboard, or even like just a kind of a heavy duty plate, whatever works really well. Just something sturdy, because the clay is heavy. So you don't want to do it on like a piece of paper, right? And again, any kind of glue will work for this, but for time reasons, hot glue dries the fastest. So that's what I'm going to use. Doesn't really need to be flat, so I'm going to cover it with clay. And then the hot glue, because it's really smooth on this stone, if I pull on it, it's just going to pop off. But the clay is eventually going to really stick it on here. I'm going to show you how to get, like it all stuck on there. So it already looks kind of creepy. You can see my ring light above me. So the clay will kind of give it a pocket to like sit into. So even if like you're like, I could take it and snap it right off if I wanted to, because it's so smooth and shiny. But I'm not going to. I guess I'm just saying, if that does happen, don't freak out. This is my plasticine clay. I bought it at Hobby Lobby. We also buy it at Amazon, and we also buy it all sorts of places. It's super, super reasonably priced. So in this aisle, when you go to Hobby Lobby, there's like a couple different kinds of clay. One of them is going to be like your polymer clay, which is an oven baked clay. And that one is much more expensive than this, but your plasticine or your modeling clay is super reasonably priced. That's what I've got here, is the modeling clay. Let's go ahead and we're going to grab a couple different colors. I'm going to grab a few. Okay. Set that down on the floor. These are my clay pieces. And this is my little dragon eye. So what I told the kids last night, and I'll kind of tell you guys the same thing, is we want to decide what's our base color. And you're going to use lots of colors in your dragon, but you kind of want a base, so that way, I don't know, it's kind of like the first coat that you put on a canvas. Don't think too hard about it. Don't worry too much about it. because you're going to cover it up. It's just a thin coat. Okay. And we're going to do two things with our kind of base color. We are going to get our eyeball really stuck to this and like make a pocket for it. And then we're going to cover our whole board kind of out to the edges. So I'm mixing a color because I didn't love those colors. All right, so here's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to take a little bit and I'm going to roll it into a snake. Set that snake right along the eye. Whoops, see how that popped out? I told you that was going to happen. Stay. I just need it there long enough until I get the rest of the stuff on. All right. And we're going to do another one on the underside of him. And these are just going to kind of be my pocket. Okay. Now, so far, I'm just going to use my fingers. We're going to talk about the tools in just a second, but I'm going to use my fingers and I'm going to press this down into the board. I just grab and kind of pull down. I want my clay to come up on the walls, and then I'm just going to bring it over the top of the eyeball as well. So put my finger on it. I'm going to bring this right up. So it holds it in there. Now this clay, it doesn't dry out, right? It's always soft. I will say one of the things you have to watch for it is, like, I'm using green right now. If I were to grab the white, I might have some green residue on my fingers. And so then your white might end up a little grungy, or if like your table has something on it, it does kind of transfer the colors. So we do want to be aware of that. Now, I've got a stick here. Remember I said clay tools? So sometimes like your finger just isn't the right tool for the job. So you can look around the house and use different tools. I think the back of a spoon is really helpful. I think like the eraser side of a pencil is really helpful. So is the other side of a pencil, actually. A wooden skewer or a dowel like this is really helpful. If you get into doing a lot of modeling clay, you might invest in some clay tools. One of our favorite ones to use are these little stylus that have different size balls on them. That's probably our favorite. All right, let's cover this whole thing with some clay. And we're doing this with dragon ice, but we also do this kind of like, it's almost like painting with clay. We do this, actually Underwater Adventure Camp, I think, is doing it tomorrow. A little bit bigger, and they're making like underwater worlds. You know, I mix up my colors. I can leave it swirled. Should I leave it swirled? Watch this. Let's put it down. And we're just gonna pull it down. Cover up our, kind of making our dragon face. It's like his skin. I told the kids last night, just explaining about the clay and the type of clay we were using. And I said, it's the type of clay that they use for claymation. I said, you know, like Gumby or Wallace and Gromit. They didn't get it. What made it worse, though, was that I started throwing out other things. They were like, you mean like, and I couldn't even tell you what they said. I was like, I don't know. Feel like we're speaking different languages. So what that told me was, before I teach this again, I'm going to need to do a little bit of research and find out what the current, if there's any current claymation style stuff out there. There very well might be, and they very well could have been telling me about it, but I didn't know it, and they didn't know what I was saying. So. All right, so we're building kind of our dinosaur's cheek, eye socket. dinosaur, dragon, could be a dragon or dinosaur. We did them as dragons. Any type of fantasy creature. We did this, I think, last year in fantasy creature camp. We did not do it this year. So try to mix things up. The only repeat in the project was fairy houses. You got to make fairy houses. All right, so kind of the structure of this is done. That's where I wanted for the structure. Now we get into aesthetics, and so there's a lot we can do, and I want to show you just a few techniques. One is to put kind of a more defined eyelid. So let's do that. We do that by making a coil, also known as a snake. I'll roll this. My table's pretty clean and also very, very white, very reflective. It doesn't work for my really, really dark dragon eye here on camera. I should have put a neutral gray down, but I'm going to make a really teeny tiny snake here. And then I'm going to go right on top with my eyelid. I think this one's going to come out quite a bit further. Mine didn't do that last time. Now I can leave it and give it a little bit of pressure to stick it down there. It's really sticky clay, so it doesn't take much to stick it on there. But let's say I want to kind of blend it here on the top. I just grab my thumb and pull back. It's really good for like fine motor. Just like blending paint. So I'll show you just a few things. I'm going to show you how to add texture to our skin here, and then I'll also show you how to make some scales, and then I'll let you go. We're not going to finish this guy, although I mean I totally could. This is really fun. All right, so there's kind of an eyelid. Yeah. All right, let's say we wanted to add some texture to this, guys. Like before we start building, I always thought this one looked a little bit more bird-like than dragon-like, but before we start building all these little scales, like what if we just want like a pebbly texture, like reptile skin or snake skin? So I've got these little like ball things. Those are great. You can also use, I don't have it because we don't own a pencil in the studio that has an eraser, but if you did, that would work. This is the tool I'm going to use. But if you have a pencil eraser, it would totally work as well. But I'm just going to gently press down on my clay. Now I don't want to press too hard because this is like this really skinny, like really thin layer of clay, right? So I don't want to press all the way down and reveal the board necessarily. I think I like it a little bit more haphazard than perfect. I feel like this is a good first step before we start putting all the different scales on. Give them some kind of skin texture. Now this is obviously like a polka dotted texture, but if I used a wooden skewer, I could make a stripe texture. I could make all sorts of different textures on this. You might even look around your house and find things that if you press in, it would leave a different texture, right? Like what kind of texture would a fork make? What kind of texture would a rock make from outside, or a piece of tree bark, or a leaf? Could you press a leaf into it? I don't know. So we kind of have a little bit of a reptile texture here. Let's do just a few scales, and then we're gonna be done. I'm gonna mix up. You never need very much. What I told the kids when we were doing it last night was whenever you're mixing colors, always mix in really small quantities because you can't get it apart. So don't mix a ton. It just, you might want to have that yellow color later, and then if you've mixed it all with the blue, you don't have any more. So just use tiny pieces, and you can always mix more, right? So I've got a little bit lighter blue. I'm going to make it into a tiny little ball. I'm going to turn this ball, oops, stuck on my fingers. I'm going to turn this tiny ball into a dragon scale. Ready? So stick it down where I want it. I like to work from the outside in, assuming my scales are going that direction. I guess if the scales are going the other way, you got to go the other direction. And you can use your tool or you can use your finger. I'm going to go ahead and just use my finger because I figure most people don't have that tool. But I'm going to press it just slightly to get it to stick. And then I'm going to push just on one side and pull back. And you'll notice that that kind of changes what I just put textures on, but that's okay. So we'll put that one down. Scale. The smaller the ball that you make, the smaller the scale will be. And let's say we want these to start getting a little bit more green as they move towards the eye. So now I'll take this blue ball of clay and I'm mixing together a little bit of that green color. I'll roll it between my fingers. Now this gets set right in the middle. It doesn't get set right on top. It gets set in the middle of the two. Pull back. Make it even more of a different color, so you can kind of change your colors as you go, right? I always think that it needs to get smaller too as it gets closer to the eyeball, but it's just me. So I'm gonna go back to showing you the one that I made, and you get lots of different color options with the polymer clay. So this is a finished one that we've got. You can see I also put like not scales, but just little polka dots on him. So we've got kind of a polka dotted details, texture inside some of the, I'm gonna make sure, I feel like maybe, oh, there we go. It was like, felt like maybe we were getting choppy. You can see I put texture on top of the scales. So I went back in and put little polka dots in there. These ones are both shiny. I don't know if you noticed that. So I went ahead and I sprayed this with just a high gloss kind of varnish, an acrylic clear spray. And that protects the clay from things like dust and dirt. I could probably still take this and really like shove the tool in there. It's not a totally hard crust that is going to prevent me from smashing it if I really want to, but it's definitely more protected. And I could spray it more if I wanted to, or I could put resin over the top of it is the way I would probably really finish it if I made something really awesome and I wanted to keep it forever and ever and ever. I'd probably put resin on top. But that might just be because we're kind of all into the resin lately. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and turn off my overhead. Like I said, we will not, hang on, too many things going on at once. There we go. And I got to start my screen share again. Otherwise, all you see is my green screen behind me. But so we're not going to finish the dragon eye today because it was like 2 hours of working on it. But hopefully you saw some of the process and how that works. And so if you want to try it at home, you've got all the steps that you need in order to make it happen. All you just need is time, right? I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead. I wish it would just pick me up where I left off, but it doesn't. The plates, these are plates from Hobby Lobby, in case you were wondering. I think Cassie Stevens. I'll give credit where credit is due. Whenever I can remember where I see something, I think she's the first one I saw that used these plates as frames. And they're great. They come in silver and they come in gold, and they make great frames, don't they? So these are super great. Get some plasticine clay. Even if you don't make dragon eyes, just work on making, you know, two-dimensional art. We also have a YouTube video and a Facebook video about claymation. So if your kids are interested in that type of animation, so they would actually sculpt something and then do like a stop motion video. We have a video on that, on how to do it, and kind of our app recommendations and how that works. That would be a really fun summer project. All right, I've got just a few things to chat about before we go. These are my reminders. One, those schedules are posted for 2022 and 2023. And one thing I didn't mention, let's get over a little bit. One thing I didn't mention was those stay the same, right? So that light is really bright. Those will stay the same from like September when we start until May. We have no intention of changing them. We like to just set it and forget it. And our instructor's teaching schedule, like we try to keep that the same as well. So if your kiddo signed up for a class, they're, you know, with the same group of kids and they're with the same teacher for the year. Our registration will begin August 1st at 9 a.m. It'll be live on that same web page that you're going to look up schedules and FAQs and class descriptions. That same page is where you'll go to find the buttons to register. And then there's the date. August 29th is that Monday. That's the Monday date that like the Monday night classes have to start so that they can get 4 classes in before October, which is crazy that we're talking about October. So hopefully that, the curtain is doing funny things. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Kids don't get that reference either, but that's okay. I know that my parents out there do. All right, so those are the dates to remember. If you have questions about classes, like what class would be best for you guys, or like, you know, is my child a drawing 101 or a drawing 102? Like, just let me know. And like, you can send me like examples of their work. We can talk about like what their goals are, all sorts of things, and figure out the best art class for them. And honestly, if we start them off in 101 and they're ready for 102 mid-year, like we get them into that class. Okay, we'll make it happen. All right. How long have we been talking? Like a long time, right? Okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna let you guys go. I will see you next week, and I promise it won't be quite as long. Have a wonderful rest of your week, everybody. I'll talk to you soon.